Now there's plenty going on in the world of boxing, so we thought who better to get in the studio than our mate. We're very lucky to be joined by the former two-weight champion of the world,
the Jackal,
Carl Frampton.
Oh, give me his nickname, man, the Jackal.
The Jackal, Carl. The last time I saw Carl Frampton, he was next to me at the back of a cab. We were singing Oasis songs at about 1 a.m. Do you remember?
Yeah. That was a good crack, that.
It was. Was I not meant to say that? Sorry, Carl. How are you?
I'm good, mate.
It's lovely to see you.
You too, mate.
You good? Everything all right? Family well?
Yeah, everyone's good.
It's nice.
Can't complain.
We've got you for half hour, right? So we've got lots to talk about. In no particular order, something I'd like to talk to you about is a fight that I'm very excited about, and that's the Benn Eubank fight that's finally been arranged. What do you make of that? Was it a fight that you think had to happen? It was just a question of everyone getting together and agreeing it? Or
I think so. The narratives are obviously with the old man and stuff, and the rivalry that was before. And as a boxer, I'm not someone who's looking at this fight going, oh, I must see this, I really want to see it. I think they're two different weight divisions for a start. There's an issue there with Eubank having to come down and rehydration clause and everything else.
Sorry, can you just explain the rehydration clause?
Well, I don't really know
what it is. Fine.
So no, I can't. Okay. But I know there is one. So I think what it is Eubank weighs in whatever the agreed weight is.
So Eubank's got to lose a lot of weight, right?
He has to lose a lot of weight.
Right.
But if he hits 160, that's the weight for the fight.
Yeah.
He can't put any more than 10 pounds on it, I think, for the next day.
And what naturally is he?
He's a big guy. You look at him at 160 and he's gaunt. He looks
awful, doesn't he?
He looks bad.
So is that normal for boxers to have a weigh-in and then go and eat and do what they want to put on weight?
Yeah, the vast majority. The IBF rules are you can't put on any more than 10 pound the next morning, so it can be quite difficult for some people.
So you get weighed again, do you?
Yeah, you get weighed only for the IBF,
right?
But it's quite difficult sometimes, especially if you're dry like Chris Eubank. He will struggle to stay within that 10 pound limit. I have a feeling he won't do it. I have a feeling he'll agree to it. He'll pay a fine and maybe weigh in 15 or 16 pounds over.
Who did he fight recently? And he looked like he was completely dead at the weight.
His last fight.
Was it Liam Smith, the first one?
Yeah.
He looked like he looked awful.
Brutal. And that's how hard it is to make. That's why I think it's kind of the rehydration clause puts things slightly more into Conor Benn's favour, which is unfair.
But then if you've got someone like Chris Eubank Jr. who's coming down and then will put on more weight than he should and get fined, isn't that then dangerous for Conor Benn because he's fighting someone that's going into the ring
possibly
maybe too heavy?
Possibly, but then he shouldn't agree to the fight.
No, of course.
I just think I think that one of them's a welterweight and one of them's a middleweight, and that's it. I mean, I'll watch the fight. I'm excited about it. I think it'll be a great fight, but I think it's dangerous enough, especially for Eubank.
I'm with you. I'm excited for the fight, kind of, but I'm not more because of the dads, of course. Yeah. And the weight classes as well. I'm a little bit like, well, I don't quite like it. So where do they go from here then? Because do you think they'd only have one fight, or do you think if it's close, there could be a couple?
Well, potentially. It just depends how it goes. I mean, I think that where do they go from here? I think both of them will make enough money in this fight because of the rivalry and because of the build-up that's going to happen around it.
There's a rematch clause in it.
I'm not sure.
No, there is. We had Ben on. He told us, yeah.
Well, I think that both these guys, going off this one fight in particular, like if they don't want to fight again, if they don't want to do anything again, they can live the rest of their lives quite comfortably. They'll make millions.
How much do you think they'll make? Roughly, I have no idea. I know you don't know the answer.
Five, maybe. Something around that. Maybe. I have no idea. I'm just taking a guess, but they'll make a lot of money.
What was the most you made in fight?
Honestly, less than that.
Was it less than that?
Of course it was.
Oh, was it?
I'm only a wee man. You know what I mean?
I know, but you were top of your game for a long time.
I was better than them too.
Yeah, you were. You were.
I 100% agree with that.
Of course you were.
Obviously, but the rivalries and the bigger guys get paid more.
When you say the rivalry, are they getting this money because of their dads' names?
Well, that's part of it. Yeah.
Do you think any of them have got the ability to become world champion, or do you think this is the biggest fight they may ever have?
I think so. I mean, up until obviously all the controversy around Conor Benn and what was going on with the failed drugs test and stuff, I was raving about him. It'll be interesting to see what he's like now with a bit more scrutiny. Eubank's a really good fighter as well. He maybe doesn't get the credit that he deserves. Not as good as the old man, but it's hard to be as good as the old man with the amount of defenses and stuff that he had. But both of them potentially could still win world titles, I think.
Who in their respective divisions, when they go back to their natural weight, has got the harder, the champions in their division? Where are the better boxers?
At the minute, I think welterweight at Benn, you've got Boots Ennis, the kid from Philly, who's unbelievable. Crawford, although he's moving up to fight, Canelo. He's still a welterweight. Ortiz, you've got Madrimov, who pushed Crawford. There's killers in that welterweight division.
Yeah, wow.
Before we move on, who wins that fight?
I want to see what Eubank looks like on the scales before I make a prediction.
Okay, who do you want to win?
I don't really care.
Do you care what you want to say?
Yeah.
you want Ben, didn't you?
Yeah. Growing up as a kid, I was always for Nigel.
Yeah,
Ben.
see, I was always.
Well, you say
Eubank.
that, but then obviously he's failed drug tests, so do you still want him to win?
Yeah. Were you there for the Chisora fight the weekend?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a brutal fight, wasn't it?
Yeah. I love Derek. I think he's a madman. I mean, even if you look at the fight in terms of who he was fighting, Derek Chisora against Otto Wallen, not the biggest name in the world. Sold probably there was 15 or 16,000 there in the arena. He's still a big draw. Ring walks are good. He wears his heart on his sleeve. Probably not the prettiest on the eye, but you know what you're going to get with Derek, and he just has a go every time.
We had Dillian Whyte on a show Monday. I've lost track of the days. Was it Monday?
Yeah.
I think it was. He said he shouldn't have another fight. I know he's going for the big 5-0, but Dillian was like, I just think he should stop now.
I mean, a lot of people would agree with him. There's people that would say Derek should have retired 6, 7, 8 fights ago. A lot of wear and tear on the body, especially when you're a heavyweight. There's big men just lumping you in the head all the time. You got to remember the training camps we were getting lumped in the head as well. I mean, at this stage when he's at 49 and he's had a win, it would be a nice way to go out on a high. But if they can get the right opponent for him to have number 50 and a win again, then you may as well at this stage, I think.
Do you think there are some promoters, I'm not going to name any names obviously because there might not be any, do you think there are any promoters that will maybe see a boxer and think I shouldn't be putting him back in the ring, but because he makes a lot of money I'm going to anyway?
Yeah, possibly.
There are.
Yeah. Look, I get on with most of the promoters in this game and around the UK and stuff, but you got to remember it's a money-making business. That's first and foremost, I think, for promoters.
Yeah. Do you know he's an ex-fighter talking about potentially a world title fight because is he mandatory?
Yeah.
Do you give him a shot against any of the top boys?
No, not at this stage, because I mean, you look at Usyk has got 3 of the belts. Daniel Dubois has got the other one, who's about to fight Joseph Parker. Dubois would be a horrible fight for him, but just because he's so young and
raw power,
fast, accurate. Parker maybe doesn't punch as hard as Dubois, but is in good form at the minute. I think you could. There's fighters out there. Someone suggested Andy Ruiz as a potential opponent
what's happened
for
to him?
Chisora. Well, I have no idea.
Still counting that money that he won
He's
from
still
the first AJ fight.
AJ money. Yeah.
He's had a couple of fights of late.
He's had a few,
right? But,
yeah, and he's lost a bit of weight as well.
Yeah.
But someone like that is a safer fight than someone like Dubois or even an AJ. Dillian Whyte's probably at a similar stage of his career than that Derek is, although he's a lot younger. That sort of caliber of opponent, I think, would be good for him.
What do you make of Dillian Whyte? His fight against, who's it just been announced? Dillian Whyte and
he's fighting
Joe Joyce.
Yeah,
just been announced.
Yeah.
What do you make of a fight like that?
I think it's one that people will tune in and watch. We know what we're going to get with both guys. Dillian is brave and similar to Derek in a style in terms of how he fights. Big Joe, we all know we're going to get there as well. He's happy to eat 5 punches to land 1 jab.
See, Joe's been in the studio a few times, and each time he's left, I say to whoever's about, he shouldn't fight again.
Yeah,
I do worry about Joe.
No,
Joyce.
I know. I worry about it. See, I worry about a lot of fighters, to be honest, staying in it too long. Genuinely do, and I think that's you need to have good people around you to telling you when to get out. And the fight, it's always.
I was going to say, sorry, it's tough because so much money can be thrown at these boys.
I know, but and that's why you need to be. You just have to have good people that really care for you, and a lot of fighters don't have that.
Do you know it's with Joe Joyce as well? Because he's I'm not being disrespectful. He's so slow.
Yeah.
He's always just getting smashed in the face. It's not like he's not bobbing and weaving or nothing. He's just whack.
That is quite disrespectful.
No, but do you know what I mean? Though?
No, but
every punch is
right.
clean.
He knows it. He relies on his chin. And there was a point up until he fought Zhang where I thought he was unknockoutable.
Yeah, I totally agree.
You couldn't knock him out, and then it just catches up on you. So
Zhang's a lump, isn't he? We have both of them in here.
Yeah, big lad.
We're gonna have a break. We've got more with you when we come back. Your hair's looking good, by the way.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you had it cut today because you keep combing it. I like it. It's nice.
Just sorting it out.
It's looking good.
I'm looking at yours and I'm jealous.
Of his?
You got no chance getting in mine. Honestly, your hair looks good today.
Thanks, fella.
Both of them. Did you miss any part of boxing? How long ago was it you retired, Carl?
3 years ago.
Is that all?
Over 4? Can't remember.
You're 25 at the moment. What year did you retire?
20. I can't remember if it was 21 or 22.
How many times did you get hit in the head?
I have few.
I can't remember when I retired football either.
Okay, it was about 15 years ago. It was only 8 that you actually decided to. Do you miss any part of it?
No, I don't, genuinely. I get asked that all the time, but I think because of the job that I'm doing on TNT and being involved in big fights, just watching as a pundit probably makes it a bit easier. But I was looking out, if I'm being honest, towards the end. I like to spend a bit of time at home and chill out and hated training camps.
Not even with the whole Saudi...
Well, maybe if the Saudis were involved, I'd like that when I was in my pump.
You mentioned Canelo earlier on, right? And it was rumoured that he was going to be fighting Jake Paul, the YouTuber, but they've both come out and said it's not happening. Jake Paul's been annoyed.
Canelo would kill him.
He would, obviously. Yeah, that fight would last 2 seconds, but it would be for copious amounts of money. Is there a part of you that wishes maybe you could dip your toe back in for a fight against someone like Jake Paul? Yeah,
Jake Paul's too big for me. Depends who the YouTuber is, doesn't it?
Is there still a chance?
I don't know.
KSI, right? He's a skinny lad.
He's big as well.
Is he too big?
Yeah, imagine getting knocked out by KSI.
No, but you won't. You're
a fighter, mate.
I don't know. Not these days. I've got about a good... right now, a good minute in me, probably. So...
But you said that before.
I'd need to get fit.
I have no doubts.
Please don't tell me that's your opening gambit when you go out on Saturday.
I have no doubts about him knocking out any YouTuber at any weight.
Yeah, of course you will. You don't need a minute.
No, I'm telling...
How long would it take you to get fit?
If I had 8 weeks...
Is that all you need?
Yeah.
How's your belly? Have you got a 6-pack?
No.
Oh, you still got one then? You have because you hesitate. Like, I'm not going to ask to see it.
I don't.
You don't?
If it tense it, you can see it a wee bit, but...
I think you can still get himself in
8 weeks,
shape.
that's all you need. 2 months to get ready.
Yeah.
So
I'm saying this as if it's going to happen.
Well,
I have no idea.
Listen, all these YouTubers are looking for something to happen, right?
Yeah.
And they all of a sudden they hear Carl Frampton on talkSPORT.
Do you know what to do? Well, if there's a YouTuber wants to call me out, go ahead.
So you would potentially do it?
Depends who it is.
I still think you're too dangerous. That's why they won't.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. I just think they will.
Can we, if it does happen, can we walk into the ring with you? Can I hold 100%. A belt and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I hold your whiskey in the other hand.
I thought you were going to say something else there. Yeah. How is your whiskey doing?
Whiskey's going well, really well. I think next year is the year we take off and everyone's going to know about it.
Okay. When that happens, we'll get you back in. Yeah. Let's talk about a couple of fights that might not ever be happening. AJ against Tyson Fury. Do you think Tyson Fury is retired for good?
I'm not sure. Initially, when the announcement happened, I thought no, he's not going to be. But the more I've thought about it, I think that there's more of a chance that he will be. I mean, the money on offer to fight AJ would be huge, stupid money, but it's clear that both him and AJ probably aren't the fighters that they once were. And then the question is, how much money do you need? You know, what about legacy? Imagine Tyson got beat by AJ. How would he deal with that? Imagine AJ get beat by Tyson. How would he deal with that? I mean, it's probably easier to deal with when you've got an extra 100 million in the bank. But I don't know. I think they've got. I think Fury might be out now.
They've both got big egos. Sorry, Benny.
No, just thinking, who's beating AJ? So AJ's lost to Ruiz, Dubois. Is there another one in there somewhere? Usyk. Okay.
See, they've both got big egos, right? You have to be a boxer. But Tyson Fury will be retiring on the back of a defeat. That must be difficult to take.
Yeah, it would be. It happened to me. I retired on a defeat, but it's
why?
Because I mean, going into the fight that I lost, my last fight, I was retiring anyway. So but I wanted to win it and go out as a 3-weight world champion. What a way to leave the sport. But I found out on the night that I wasn't the same fighter that I used to be.
I remember you saying, is it when you sat
literally after round 1 and went, it's going to be a hard night. And
imagine that when you sat in your
nothing
chair.
you can do about it either.
Yeah.
Was it one of those moments where you're throwing a punch and they were landing about?
It wasn't even me. I was being hit with punches that I don't think I didn't get hit with 3 years before.
Who was it against?
Jamel Herring, lovely guy, nice guy.
But
he was a southpaw. I feel like I've beaten better fighters on him. He was a big guy, but he was hitting me with. He wasn't the fastest guy in the world, and I couldn't get out of the road of his jab.
Yeah, it's time.
I seen it coming. That was still hitting me. So you know what I mean?
Well, maybe that won't be your last fight. Maybe you'll get back in the ring to fight a YouTuber.
Any suggestions? Who's a YouTuber?
I Show Speed.
Oh,
would you
fight him?
Oh yeah, I'll fight him.
What weight is he? He's about 11 stone.
He's not the
No,
biggest.
beat him.
Would that generate a lot of money? Is he a big name?
He's probably one of the
massive.
biggest, if not the biggest.
Kids love him.
He's not bigger than.
He's everywhere.
Who's the fella?
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast, not bigger.
Yeah,
than that.
okay, but he's different. I Show Speed's out there.
Bigger than KSI.
Yeah.
Bigger than Logan Paul, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He's not. He's close.
He's up there.
Right, let's get that fight on. What's his name?
I Show Speed.
Call him out now.
No, you do it for me. I'm not calling I Show Speed out. I was a real boxer. You know what I mean? Incredible person.
I Show Speed. If there's anything about you, Frampton will have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or KSI. We'll take KSI.
Either. You take both of them.
I need
the
8
same night.
weeks, but boys.
What?
I need 8 weeks.
Okay. I need 80 million. Thank you for coming in, Carl. It's always an honour, really. You're one of our favourite people on the planet. I really appreciate your time. It's very kind. Thanks, man.
Oh, Big Tony Bellew called you a weasel. You know.
Why are you going out on that note?
Sorry. He just said that to me. Make sure you put that weasel Goldstein straight.
Right, you tell him I hope they lose tonight against Liverpool.
He'll phone in.
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah. Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that. Why would Tony say? I get on with Tony Bellew now. You know the thing with Tony Bellew, right? When I see him, there's no cameras about. Hello, Andy. Yeah, lovely to see you. Look great. All of a sudden, you put a mic in front of me. Tell that little weasel. Honestly, all the same, those boxers. Carl, always a pleasure. Thanks for coming in.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.